watching an action has one great passion in life: danger. The thrill of the chase, the excitement of the kill, the lay your life on the line gamble that spells adventure. Marsh Connors at the camera, Dave Reardon at the wheel of the trapping truck. Anyway, that's the way it was. Whether filming a picture in Africa, on safari, or on their own. Just 1 year later and a half a world away, fate deals this great team a new hand. Tempts Dave with a promise of fabulous treasure in far-off Amazonia. A promise with a catch to it. For he must pit his knowledge, his wits, his strength against the mighty jungle that so jealously guards its treasure from all men. Seeing him off as Connors, impatiently awaiting permission to scout locations for a picture in the Congo.
Well, Dave, take it easy.
Good of you to see me off.
To make sure you got on the plane.
It's been a great 5 years.
Remember the time the rhino tried to harpoon you in the rear?
We've had some wild ones.
You sure have.
Hope it's not a mistake by busting up the team.
You can take care of yourself.
Maybe this is the pot of gold I've been after.
Sure. This time it's bound to pay off for you. Well, if you ever need a hand, sing out.
You do the same, huh? Goodbye.
The jungle, wearing its mask of beauty, tranquil, calm, deceptively calm, the temptress, beckoning man to venture into its fastness. But man who has tamed every mountain, conquered the deepest depths of the ocean, pierced the far reaches of outer space, has yet to win his ageless, epic struggle against the jungle. Death lurks in its swampy water, its stinking, steaming air, tangled trees. This is the mighty jungle. And this is another victim, Dave Reardon, separated from his expedition. Desperate, confused, without hopes. The patient vultures wait to pick the flesh from his bones. Forbidden fruit, like peyote, like LSD. One bite distorts the mind, brings on hallucinations beyond belief. Yet here is a starving, distraught man whose very predicament seems a hallucination in itself, who doesn't know that one taste of Orinoco can infest his mind with more horrors than his imagination can endure. For a moment, Reardon feels the resurgence of his great strength. Then the compulsion to run, run, heedless of direction or danger.
Connors! Help me!
His brain disoriented as the drug invades his bloodstream. He cries for help. A cry that goes unanswered. Hungry vultures await his final breath while the hallucination twists Reardon's brain in its savage grasp. Do these ancient ruins guard the answer to the disappearance of the expedition Reardon led and lost? Or is this a part of his remembered past, flowing through his ebbing consciousness while he lies dying on the log, and the vultures peck the eyes out of his head? People. Where do they come from? Those mystic sacrificial rites. A horrible memory? A dream? Or reality? A living man being sacrificed to some mythical god. Stop! Stop! To the tomb of the living death. From it, there is no escape. His very presence challenged by slithering, slimy denizens of darkness waiting to squeeze the life from his body. Is this more of his nightmare? Or has Reardon finally come upon the treasure he has fought so desperately to find? Are these the remains of the men whose life was given into his protection? This can only be hallucination. That ring. He knows it so well. Can it be real? Reardon's brain nervously contemplates the riddle. By what miracle can a man escape the clutches of a mighty jungle? By what miracle can he survive and be returned to civilization? A man whose last memory haunts him awake and asleep. You're almost as good as new, the doctors say. Almost. Go to Senor Prieto, the doctor said. He expects you to report to him.
Not yet. I can't see Prieto yet. I lost his brother to the jungle. I carry his ring in my pocket. Why? How did I get it? In the tomb? On the trail? Was it given to me?
When doubts and fears besiege a man, his life becomes a torment. Could Marsh have held the expedition together, Reardon asks himself. Could we have done it as a team? Where did I fail? Where were my mistakes? Will I ever have the nerve to try again? Hunger, an added torment. Matching wits with a dog over a crust of bread. And losing. That's when a man hits bottom. The knowledge digs at the very entrails of Reardon's mind. Rams home the courage to answer Prieto's summons. The courage to face the mighty jungle once again.
I'm Reardon.
Prieto looks him over coldly. So you're here at last, he says. Somewhere in the jungle, my brother is desperate for help. Juan Prieto, the man you deserted. You're the one who saw him last. You alone can name that spot. You alone will know his face, Prieto says. You alone will know this ring. In the town of Sagrada is Antonio Lupe. You will find him and tell him all you know. You will give him this picture. He will conduct the search. Your job will be done. I'm the one to do the searching, says Reardon. You had your chance and you lost my brother, Prieto replies. In my brother's name, go to Sagrada. This will cover your expenses. I'll meet your Antonio Lupe. Reardon is thinking. I'll brief him. I'll tell him all I know. And I'll go back in the jungle, with or without him. Well, here goes nothing. Next stop, Sagrada, civilization's last outpost where the mighty jungle begins. Soberly, Reardon contemplates the task ahead, and his thoughts go to Connors, how he'd relish having Marsh at his side in a coming battle. At this very instant, in another hemisphere, the same photographs remind Marsh Connors of Dave, set him to wondering if he found his pot of gold. The Congo. In a shadow cast by H.M. Stanley, Connors gives an itinerary. Follow the great explorer's jungle treks, make friends with the remote tribes, locate the inaccessible herds, prepare the way for his return with the camera crew. This Connors is mad, the officials decide. Only a madman would accept the central government's edict that he make this journey unarmed. Mad or not, he receives the same admiration they reserve for men of Stanley's caliber. No minutes to spare. Time only to change clothes. It's a long way to Katanga, and no one flies the jungle at night. Once out of the city, nothing but jungle and river, no beacons, no navigational aids, just a man and a wing and the thrust of a wooden prop. You listen to the throb of the engine like a doctor to a heartbeat. The river's your only landmark. You hug it for dear life. You seek out checkpoints, a village, a mission. A downdraft means curtains. With the sun running out, you save precious minutes in a shortcut down a narrow, jagged gorge. You're at the end of the line, end of the world. A shack for your first base camp. Your pilot for company this one last night, and then you are alone. In the Congo, you're either on the river or on foot.
Holy smoke.
Danger in every tree. Peril with every step. Walk lightly, Connors. This is the jungle of the Congo. A Bakuba village. Remote, desolate, suspiciously quiet. The cook fire still burning. The village mysteriously deserted. An ambush. Seeing Connors unarmed, obviously on a mission of peace, the village chief tells of a giant bird that roared overhead this morning, sending his people fleeing in fear. The reminder is rammed home to Marsh how far from civilization he has come. Even when washing away the jungle's sticky sweat, Connors maintains an unrelenting vigil. The only possible way to survive in a land where death patiently stalks the unwary.
Even the king of beasts has fleas.
This is the birth of a mighty river.
How many
many men have crossed the giant Congo in one step? Hard for Connors to realize that these little trickles will become a river. The bloodstream of a nation coursing through savage wilderness, giving nourishment and life to 7 million jungle people and countless millions of jungle beasts. 200 miles to the north, the gathering waters have taken form, and the Congo, among other things, becomes a laundromat. Contrast, Reardon and Connors. Dave forced to fight the jungle, resisted by it every inch of the way. Connors finds friendship and help. Elephants everywhere. No jungle animal dares challenge the elephant's vicious tusks, his pile driver legs. Tembo is his name in the jungles of Africa, a name that brings fear to the hearts of men. This is the heart of the rainforest, the jungle home of the pygmies. But where are they? Connors knows that he's under surveillance, that behind the trees hemming him in, 100 pair of eyes are watching his every move. The leaders prepare to send a shower of poisoned spears into his body. They send a scout who shares the 20th century peace pipe. It's been asked why pygmies are so dangerous when their territory is invaded. From earliest times, normal-sized men have been sexually curious about the perfectly formed pygmy women. Unable to stop the raping of their wives and sweethearts, they retreated to the deepest recesses of the jungle, where they could fight on equal terms and protect their loved ones. The pygmies can't believe that this is food. Their hospitality goes out to this man they think is starving. They invite him to join in a hunt. But there are no pantries in the jungle. Every bite of food must be caught. In the jungle, the lion sets the trap, the lioness makes the kill. This is the way of the pygmies. Connors hears the word tembo. An elephant hunt with a net? Dick, a pygmy gazelle. Maybe to these little people, it's an elephant. As the saying goes, a woman's work is never done. While they cook, the tribe celebrates. You're watching an ancient ritual dance that acts out the slaying of an elephant. This is Tembo himself brought to bay by the pygmies. Hunters sneak up from the rear of the still dangerous beast, ramming home their spears and blow darts. And so, his tusks and tail lopped off, Tembo dies. At dusk, the music of the Lakimba accompanies the first course. Marsh tells about his camera and his plans to return. Night. Jungle night. Dawn finds Connors already on the trail, ever aware that beasts of prey are everywhere. Tons of fury at his heels, bearing down on him. Trumpeting at him. Showing their contempt. 5,000 miles away, Dave is approaching the pueblo of Sagrada, wishing only that his rendezvous was with Connors instead of a stranger named Antonio Lupe. A stowaway and his dog, coming to witness the pueblo's mystic rites to its many gods.
Muchas gracias, senor.
Por nada.
How do you find a stranger in a throng like this? Antonio Lupe, the jungle fighter. Do you know him? Dave's question sends an eavesdropper scurrying to warn a beautiful girl, Aurica. Wild, primitive. Ordained by the gods to marry the jungle man. A foreigner, alone. In search of a man he doesn't know. Speak to the dancer in a mask of gold is one cryptic clue.
Lupe?
Thinking that Reardon has come with money for her future mate, Ulrika points him out. Mysteriously, weirdly, Ulrika vanishes. An ominous chill plays over Reardon's spine.
I'm a jungle man too, Lupe. Will you take me out there?
No.
Bribing Lupe with a rifle, Reardon assures him that he has invaded many jungles, has faced every danger, and still lives.
If the high priest says yes?
Yes.
You can't count on a victory until the high priest has been won over.
It's yours if you take me to the high priest.
Bueno, I'll take you.
Senor Prieto's lost brother is my friend. Give me permission to go with Lupe in search of him.
Reardon learns that Lupe's reluctance is born of a primitive superstition, that to face the jungle with an outsider is death. So he offers to mingle his blood with Lupe's to make him one of them. Intuitively, Ulrika recoils from the thought of her loved one going into the jungle with this outsider. Her only hope is that the high priest will refuse permission. But she hears him say that he will do all he can to help rescue the lost party. Ulrika's fears mount. In her eyes, this outsider has tricked the high priest, will bring death to Lupe. The solemn ritual that makes Reardon one of them is intoned. How can she stop what the revered high priest has sanctioned? How? South from Sagrada, hidden aboard, another stowaway. This time, Ulrika, determined to save her loved one. friendly welcome, a good omen. This is the law of the jungle. The big eat the small. The strong eat the weak. One duck on deposit for a canoe. Luring them still deeper into its craw, the jungle displays its mask of beauty once again. Another face of the mighty jungle. Two degrees below the equator, Connors finds himself in no man's land. To the beasts of the jungle, man and his weapons are nothing. Regally, they ignore him. With equal disdain, they would stampede over him, crush him, rend his flesh into quivering, lifeless shreds. Reardon's thoughts are on the trek ahead. When will the jungle strike its first protesting blow against his invasion of its inner territory? That volcano, a checkpoint, 50 jungle-infested miles distant. Every inch of the way an arena of mortal combat.
Bienvenidos.
Welcome to a tiny oasis of humanity. Reardon appeals for guides and horses. Consent is reluctantly given. The guides have many misgivings.
The Falls of the Milagros.
Sure glad we don't have to climb over that.
Reverting to her primitive ways, Ulrika keeps out of her lover's sight, hoping somehow that she can prevent the death she believes Reardon will bring down on him.
Tony, look out!
Ruled by superstition, the guides demand their horses back, convinced that the presence of a stranger will bring death to all of them. Beyond that river, the fierce Haranya tribe stands guard. Will they permit the strangers to pass? The alternative? A climb up the perilous, slippery rocks of Milagros. A desperate decision is made. They'll challenge the Haranyas.
Reardon, cuidado!
First the avalanche, then the Haranyas, now this. The jungle has released its full fury on Reardon.
Reardon! Help! Help! Help!
That was a real close one.
We cannot. It is too steep to go that way, amigo.
You all right?
Gracias. You saved my life?
It's all right. Don't worry. We'll make it okay.
Sure. We'll make it.
Let's go.
Somewhere in that vast green sea of fury, Reardon waits for the next blow to be struck. Beneath the surface of this green sea, life is seething with the molten heat of Nyamuragira, the volcano. Connors finds the elephant showing his lighter side, at play, like kids in a swimming hole. Reluctantly, he moves on, knowing that 10 short seconds from now, Tembo's mood can rival the fury of Chopo Falls. Ahead, the country of the Mangbetus, once the most barbarous of the cannibal tribes, the last Africans to give up the eating of human flesh. Their idea of feminine beauty, an elongated skull. Their method of helping nature, wrapping the head while the bones are still soft enough to take on the shape dictated by Mangbetu fashion. A few huts away, the chief's wives dress each other's hair for a coming ceremony. The number one wife is soon to give birth. Today, 2 weeks before the event, a ritual dance must be performed to please the god of fertility and ensure the birth of a son. Don't cry, little one. Someday your beauty will catch the eye of the chief himself. Pygmy slaves, grown tall through intermarriage, open the festivities. Join the Mangbetu drums to summon the dancers. Now the warriors with the shields. Now the Mangbetu flutes. Now the favorites of the chief. Now the workers of the fields. Now a volunteer. Now the gathering is complete. The chief's favorites entice the god of fertility to witness the ceremony. The chief himself gives joyous thanks that the gods are in attendance. Number one wife seeks favor by acting out how she will raise the man-child to bring honor to his father, the tribe, and the gods. The chief adds his prestige to hers in one final plea for a son. Connor's overwhelming fascination for the elephant takes him 100 miles out of his way to witness an unbelievable sight. Tembo the Untamable is being tamed. In this hidden haven on the northern rim of the Congo, where the most ancient ways are still followed by most tribes, these Congolese are preparing for progress. Elephants, captive since infancy, are laboriously taught the discipline that man requires of them to learn their part in the building of the Congo. Tembo's job will be what even bulldozers and earth-moving rigs can't accomplish. Build roads through swamps, through thickets, through jungle land that can be tamed only by jungle beasts. Even with tame elephants, Connors is anything but safe. Tembo shies away from the alien scent, the white man's scent. His trainer struggling to keep him under control.
Viejo Carter! Castro! Mas! Atule! Atule! Pero viejo Carter!
Is that the girl from Sagrada?
Yes, it was.
What's this? Why is she here?
Just to be my wife. She thought she had to kill you
Kill me?
with a temple knife.
But why?
She didn't believe my blood oath with a stranger would pull her guts. She said you were leading me to my death. When I told her I owe you my life, she ran away.
Thanks, Tony.
Por nada, amigo.
A new day, a new spirit. Reardon's part of a team again. He moves grimly on to solve the mystery that gnaws constantly at his vitals. The fate of his lost party. The mystery of what happened. Was it real? Was it hallucination?
Marabunta ants. With my own eyes, I saw them meet a living horse in 15 minutes.
Don't worry, Mother. We won't hurt him. I've got a treat for you. Good, huh? Boy, he sure is hungry. Fell out of the tree. Better put him back. Bye. Iguanas, Tony.
Don't get too close.
They look like prehistoric monsters.
And they fight like them, too.
Wonder what started all this.
The muchacha, of course. No, Riddle, no. That's Orinoco. It's poison.
The harvest of the jungle is plentiful. But only those who are wise in its ways know which trees give life, sustain life, or take life. The struggle of the jungle never ends.
Double poison. Keep moving. We'll need a raft across this river.
Yes, we will.
Can we pull downstream?
10 or 12 miles, I think.
Good. Tony, bring the larger log. We'll lay them this way. All right?
I hope the rock will be strong for the river.
While one friend starts a dangerous journey down a treacherous laden river, on the other side of the earth, the other half of the old team races up the Congo. Propelled by 50 stalwart Waginias, he rides upstream to catch the only riverboat scheduled to sail this month. The Waginias, tough, independent from time immemorial, the only tribe that never lost a man to the Arab slavers. The Arabs lost plenty to them. Frantically, he dashes aboard the boat, seconds ahead of its departure. Nearing the area where Reardon's party became separated, possibly lost forever, his impatience rises feverishly. Any day now, he will know the answer to the riddle that has been torturing him.
We'll get him yet.
Yeah?
I'll go on straight ahead. You go around that way. We'll circle and meet.
Survival in the jungle is a vicious circle. Some must perish that others may live. The struggle never ends, for man or beast.
Help! Help there! Snake bit me! Help! Help!
Once again desperate and lost, once again helplessly floundering, the weight of a dying man on his shoulders, the weight of a lost party on his conscience, Reardon struggles on, blindly fighting his losing battle against the fury of the jungle.
Here's something to eat. You need it.
No, I can eat.
You've got to.
Connors has come 2,500 miles from the bubbling springs that gave this mighty river its birth. Another 500 miles, and it will empty into the Atlantic. And the river he stepped across back there is now 16 miles wide. For the first time, Connors has a chance to breathe, to think, to marvel at the good fortune that stayed with him through every adventure among the primitive people and savage animals. Looking at the face of the jungle, his thoughts are on his friend in another jungle, unaware of his hopeless predicament, his despair.
Help me, please. I have a dying man. He's one of you. Please help him. Please.
The burden gets heavier with every step. From what sources does Reardon draw the power to go on? His mind more confused by the minute. No longer knowing whether he's fighting for his life or searching for the answer to his riddle. With the weight of his burden, can he remember that the jungle is waiting for him to make one mistake, to take one false step? Marsh Connors heads safely for home, with no way of knowing that fate has dealt his old friend the final hand. That Reardon has fought his last battle, has gone down valiantly in the never-ending struggle against the jungle. One man has won his fight. Another has lost his life.
Orita, you don't have to be so shy. Don't you remember me? You have married me.
And the third, in his primitive way, has found complete happiness with his mate in this paradise. Another facet of the mighty jungle.